Good. Okay. So we're doing page 46 in the book. And let's see. Diallo, would you like to start reading, please, where it says the Atlantic provinces at the top, please?
Okay. The Atlantic provinces. Atlantic Canada's coast and natural resources, including fishing, farming, forestry, and mining, have made these provinces an important part of Canada's history and development. The Atlantic Ocean brings cool winters and cool, homemade summers.
Yeah. Okay. So let's look at some of the words here. Um, this word here, this word is forestry and mining. Mining. Yeah. And mining is just digging for things like coal and gold and silver. And in the north, they have diamonds. We have diamonds in northern Canada. And then this word here, cool, humid. Humid just means there's water in the air. That's what humid means. Water in the air. Good. Okay, so the Atlantic provinces um, have obviously fishing, right? But there's also a lot of farming and natural resources. Okay, there's nothing. They're not going to really ask you any questions from any of that. Okay, so let's talk about Newfoundland and Labrador. And so what they do for each one of these, with each province, they give you the flag, and then they just give you some pictures that are typical of the province. So let's see. Rashid, would you like to do Newfoundland and Labrador, please?
Of course. Okay. Newfoundland and Labrador is the most is easterly point in North America and has its own time zone. In addition to its natural beauty, the province has a unique heritage linked to the sea, the oldest colony of the British Empire and the strategic prize in Canada's early history. The province has long been known for its fisheries, coastal fishing villages, and the distinct culture. Today, offshore oil and gas extraction contributes a substantial substantial part of the economy. Labrador also has immense hydroelectric resources.
Yeah, very good. Very good. So the very first point here, this is always a question. What is the most easterly point in all of North America? That's always a question. And the answer is Newfoundland and Labrador. And it has its own time zone. So the Newfoundland is a half hour earlier than us. It's a half hour earlier than us. And so just the province of Newfoundland has its own time zone. I'm trying to think of the other question often asked about Newfoundland and Labrador. It's the oldest colony. That usually a question. The oldest colony of the British Empire. Yeah, it's the oldest. It's the one of the oldest colony of the British Empire. It's the first colony that the British controlled. And is, let's see, a strategic prize in Canada's early history. So that means it's very important to control Newfoundland to control Canada. That's what they're saying there. And when you think of Newfoundland, you think of fish, of course. But the other thing you don't necessarily think of are things like oil. They get oil from the bottom of the sea and gas. And then the other thing is this hydroelectric. Hydroelectric is just a way of saying you get electricity from water. Yeah, so like for example, in Ontario, we have Niagara Falls, and they get electricity from the Niagara River. And that's hydroelectric. So that's one of the things that Newfoundland and Labrador has. Okay, so try to remember most easterly point in North America. has its own time zone. It's a unique heritage, the oldest colony in the British Empire, and it also has oil, gas, and electricity. I think that's the main thing there. Oh, there's coastal villages. Coastal villages. That is sometimes a okay, so Newfoundland and Labrador. Very good. Okay, so let's do the next one, Prince Edward Island. Let's see, Gonzalo, would you like to read Prince Edward Island?
Yes, yes. Prince Edward Island, BEI, is the smallest provinces now. For its beaches, road, soul, and agalgert, uh, special potatoes. BEI is the breath, breathing of uh, confed- confederation. Okay, connected to Mild Canada Bay, one of the longest continuous uh, mi- multi multi-span uh, bridges in the world. The Confederation uh, Bridge and of Green Gable KNBIN BEI by links Luxy لا by Lucy Mude uh, من monogamy is a much loved store, but the story about the advertisement and the advergence of a little road headed Orphan girl.
Yeah, very good. You got a hard one today. Yeah, very good. Okay, good. Yeah, so Prince Edward Island, it's the smallest province. It's very small. I think the population of Kitchener-Waterloo is more than the population of Prince Edward Island. And so what you think of with Prince Edward Island, you think usually of potatoes. Many, many potatoes come from Prince Edward Island. So it's agriculture and potatoes. And if you ever go to Prince Edward Island, it's really unusual. See, it has red soil. The ground is red. And then the beaches, you can go to the really nice beaches, and they are red beaches. So it's very unusual, but it's very pretty. It's very nice. And it says the PEI. Yeah, usually everybody just says PEI. It's where the birthplace of Confederation. So that's where John A. Macdonald and the other fathers of Confederation, they organized and wrote the agreement to start Canada. That's the birthplace of Confederation. Yeah. And then one of the questions that's always here is, it's connected to the mainland, so connected to Canada. It's an island, but it's connected by one of the longest bridges in the world. It's a very, very long bridge. It's one of the longest bridges in the world, called the Confederation Bridge. So that is usually a question. Which province is connected to Canada by one of the longest bridges in the world? And that's Prince Edward Island. And then the other thing is, it's Prince Edward Island is very famous for Anne of Green Gables. I don't know if you can see in the picture here, there's a house with green on it here. Anne of Green Gables is not a real character. She was written by Lucy Montgomery and from her imagination. But if you go to Prince Edward Island, you can see a house that is, where this character supposed to have lived, the Green Gables. That's what it's called. And she is a red-headed girl, and she is very strong, and she gets into many adventures. And it's a very, very popular book. It's in Japan. In Japan they have an Anne of Green Gables world, and so it's like a little Disneyland. And you go there, and it's all Anne of Green Gables. So it's very popular in Japan. But anyways, so if you ever hear of Anne of Green Gables, that's from Prince Edward Island. And if you have daughters, sometimes it's a nice book for them to read. They're nice books. And there's many TV shows and cartoons and things about Anne of Green Gables. Yeah. Okay, so the main things to remember though, smallest province, known for agriculture, and birthplace of Confederation. And it has one of the longest bridges in the world, called Confederation Bridge. And then Anne of Green Gables was written about Prince Edward Island. Let's try to remember those things about Prince Edward Island, PEI. Good. Okay, so let's see. Zaniba, would you like to do Nova Scotia?
Okay, teacher. Nova Scotia is the most populous Atlantic province with a rich story as the gateway to Canada, knowing for the world's highest tides. Is that correct? Tides in the Bay of Fundy. The province identity is linked. Is that correct, teacher?
Yeah, linked.
Linked to shipbuilding, fisheries, and shipping. As Canada's largest East Coast port, deep water and ice-free, the capital, Halifax, has Nova Scotia.
So it says the capital Halifax has played
played
Yeah.
an important role in Atlantic trade and defense, and is home to Canada's largest naval pass. Nova Scotia has long story of coal,
good.
meaning forestry and agriculture. Today, there is also offshore oil and gas exploration. The province Celtics
Good. Yes.
Celtics and I want to say garlic or girlies.
Close enough.
That tradition sustain vibrant culture. Nova Scotia is home to over 700 annual festival, including the color military tattoo in Halifax.
Yeah, very good. Very good. There's a lot of difficult words in these, and you're all doing very well. So
Thank-
just so you know,
yeah,
the word Nova Scotia, that means New Scotland.
New Scotland.
Yeah, Nova means new and Scotia is Scotland. So when they came from Great Britain, many people were from Scotland. And so when they came to Nova Scotia, they called it New Scotland. New Scotland. Yeah, very good. Nova Scotia. So it has Nova Scotia has the most people of all the Atlantic provinces. And it has the world's highest tides. Does anybody know what like in the ocean, the tides, does anybody know what that means?
Ice
Anybody know? Tides?
tides.
Yeah. So in English, a tide is when the water goes up and down in the ocean from the moon, you know, and so yeah, in English we call that tides. So the moon makes the ocean water go up, and in the Bay of Fundy in Nova Scotia, they have the highest tides in the world. The water goes up very, very high. Yeah, so it comes up very quickly. So it's called the highest tides. So try to remember that because that is usually a question. And Nova Scotia is known for shipbuilding and fisheries. And also it has Canada's largest naval base. So you can see the ship here, like that ship there. All the Navy is the boats that Canada uses to protect itself. So they have the guns and they use the Navy to protect Canada. And that's where the biggest naval base is, and that's in Nova Scotia, and then in Halifax, or in Nova Scotia, and that's Halifax. And let's see, the other things to remember are, it says the province's Celtic and Gaelic traditions. Those two things are Scottish. They're just Scottish. So that everything that is Scottish, you can see in Nova Scotia. They have Scottish music and Scottish food and many things Scottish. So it has Celtic and Gaelic traditions. That means they have Scottish traditions. Yeah. And then the last thing it has 700 annual festivals. That's a lot. So there's a lot of music festivals, a lot of food festivals, many things to do. You know, when there's no pandemic, you can do many things in Nova Scotia. Okay, so try to remember most populous, most people live there. Gateway to Canada, that's often a question. Highest tides in Bay of Fundy, Nova Scotia. The naval base is there, naval base, and it has Celtic and Gaelic traditions. Try to remember those things. Those are usually questions. Okay, we'll do one more today, and the next one is on page 47, New Brunswick. 47, New Brunswick. And let's see, I think we'll go back to Diala. Would you like to read New Brunswick, please, on page 47?
Okay. Situated in the Appalachian Ring, the province was founded by the United Empire Loyalists and has the second largest river system on North America's Atlantic coastline. The St. Johns River system, forestry, agriculture, fisheries, mining, food processing, and tourism, and the principal industries. St. John's is the largest city. Ports and manufacturing center. Moncton is the principal Francophone Acadian Center, and Fredericton, the historic capital. New Brunswick is the only officially Belgian province, and about one-third of the population lives and works in French. The province's pioneer, loyalist, and French culture, heritage, and history comes alive in street fest- festival and traditional music.
Yeah, very good. Okay. So there's a lot, sometimes there's a lot of questions about New Brunswick. It was formed by the United Empire Loyalists. They're founded by the United Empire Loyalists. Do you remember when in 1776, the United States was formed, and then many people didn't want to live in the United States, so they moved up to Canada, and those people are called United Empire Loyalists, and that's the large group that live in New Brunswick, and it has the second largest river system on North America's Atlantic coastline. That is sometimes a question. It's hard to remember that, but it's the second largest river system, North America's Atlantic coastline. It's called the St. Johns River. So the main things are forestry, so wood, farming, fisheries. And the largest city is St. John. And Moncton is the principal, this is often a question, what is the principal Francophone Acadian center? I can remember the Acadians, they were the French people that were sent down, the English sent them down to the United States when they were fighting. So Francophones are people that speak, French is their first language. So this is always a question. What is the principal Francophone Acadian center? And the answer is Moncton. Good. And then it is the only officially bilingual province. All the other, New Brunswick is the only province that officially bilingual. You can speak English or French anywhere, and the government deals with you in English and French anywhere. Everything is English and French in New Brunswick. Yeah, okay, I think that's the main thing. Okay, so what I'd like to do now, I'd like to try some questions. So let's go this one here. Now we're gonna have to look at the map a little bit to answer some of these initial questions, because they're talking about the map that is on page 45. So let's just look at page 45 for a minute and then see if we can answer some of these questions. So let's just set this up and then we'll talk about the Atlantic. We got Rashid. Okay. Let's see. Rashid, would you like to look at the map on page 45 and see if you can answer this question? When it says something does not border, which of the following does not border Nunavut? That means which of the following does not touch? Does not touch Nunavut.
Can I say Ontario?
So Ontario doesn't touch Nunavut. Yeah, let's try. Northwest Territories does, right? Manitoba does. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, very good. Ontario does not. Good. Okay, let's try another one. And then let's see. Diallo, would you like to try this one?
Okay. Which of the following does not border Quebec? Oh. It's Atlantic Ocean.
No, there's parts of the Atlantic Ocean that touch Quebec. If you
Oh.
look at the map on page 45, see some
Okay.
parts, yeah, there's one province that doesn't touch Quebec.
Nova Scotia.
Yeah, I think that's right, Nova Scotia. Yeah, very good, Nova Scotia. Good. And then, Zaniba, can you do this one?
Tell
And
me.
you're, yeah,
Okay.
please.
Zainab or Kazala?
Zaniba, please.
Okay. Which of the following border is Nova Scotia? Which have the border? They have Nova Scotia.
Yeah, so which one touches Nova
Touch
Scotia?
Nova Scotia is New Brunswick.
Yeah, that's right. New Brunswick. That's how they're gonna ask the question, which borders? And so, well, you have to think of what touches. That's how they ask.
Oh, you
Okay,
cannot
good.
see the map?
Okay, so let's see, Gazala, can you do this one, please?
Okay. Which provinces has its one time zone? Number 3,
Yeah, yeah,
Nordland and Labrador.
yeah, very good. So now we're back on the stuff we did from today, the Atlantic provinces. Good, Newfoundland and Labrador has its own time zones, okay? And then, let's see. Rashid, could you do this one, please?
What is the oldest colony of the British Empire? Okay. Prince Edward Island. Number 1.
Want to try that one? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. You sure we want to double check? We can do it if you want, but you want to double check?
Newfoundland and Labrador. Newfoundland and Labrador.
Let's try that one too. Yay, very good,
Yeah.
very good. Okay, good. Newfoundland and Labrador, the oldest colony in the British Empire. Yeah, very good. And then let's see. Can you do this one, please? Diala, can you do this one, please?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good.
Which province has long been known for its fishers, coastal fishing, villages, and distinct culture? Mm, Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah. See how sometimes they ask questions all about the same province and then they go on to the next province. So yeah. Okay, good. And then this one?
Okay. What does PE stand for? Stand. Prince Edward, yes, is the number 1 teacher.
Yeah, Prince Edward Island.
Yeah,
Good.
Island.
Very good. And then Gazala, can you do this one?
Yes. What is the Canada's smallest provinces? Prince Edward. No. Number 2, yes.
what's this word?
Island.
Yeah, very good. Very good. And some people are just learning English. Some people, when they're just learning English, they say Island. Yeah.
No.
Very good. Very good. Okay. And then can you do this one, please? Rashid, can you do this one?
Oh, okay, it's me. What's known as the birthplace of Confederation? Okay. Prince Edward Island also.
Prince Edward Island. Yeah, good. Good. And then
Yeah.
Diala, could you please do this one?
Okay. In Canada, where can you find one of the longest continuous multi-span bridge in the world? Nova Scotia?
Okay, so just think of what you need a bridge.
Oh,
What province would need a bridge? A long, long bridge.
Prince Edward Island.
Yeah, Prince Edward
Yeah.
Island. Yeah, very good. And then Neva, can you do this one?
Where can you find? Oh, this is Legendary tradition. That's Nova Scotia,
Yeah, New Scotland. Yeah, very good.
Scotland.
Very good. And then Gisela, can you do this one, please?
Yes. Where is Canada's largest naval base? Base. Okay.
The largest naval base. Yeah,
Yeah.
for the
I think
Navy.
number one, Nova Scotia.
Yeah, very good. And then Rashid, can you do this one, please?
Yeah. Where is Canada's largest East Coast port? It's Halifax.
Good. And then Diala, can you please do this one?
Okay. In Canada, where can you find the world highest tides? Nova Scotia?
Yeah, Nova Scotia. Good. And then Geneva, can you do this one?
It has the second largest river system on North America, Atlantic Coast. Largest is New Brunswick.
Very good. New Brunswick. Good. And Zala, could you do this one, please?
Okay. Which city is the provincial Friends phone? I can center in Canada. Okay. I think number one, mountain.
Yeah, very good. Everybody's getting these correct. Very good. And then back to Rashid, please.
Okay, which province is the only officially bilingual province? Okay, New Brunswick.
Very fast. Good.
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick. Good. And then Diala. Oh,
In Canada, where do
Okay.
more than half of the people live?